Hello, powerful one. Today, we are going to talk about the matrix. We are going to talk about what powers the matrix, what the matrix is, where the matrix is, and how you can conquer the matrix. I am Osezuah Elimihe. You know what I do? I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. We think that people are what they are because they deliberately chose to be what they are. But in actuality, it is really not so. There is a lot that goes into making a human being what they really are. First of all, let us strike off the idea that people are really what they are by choice. Yes, it is true that people are what they are by choice, but by deeper inherent choice, people are really not what they really deep down within them want to be. They are what they can afford to be. And this is dependent on how much they are able to manage their systems. And that human system we are talking about is a very intelligent mechanism, very complex mechanism that is capable of cohering, coming together as one, or working at cross purposes. The human being is designed with layers, multiple layers, but the main layers are simply the spirit components, which is the vital, the essential and central or core component of the human being, which is the real human being actually. Then you have the mental component. The mental component is the device component, is the machine, it is the computer, the super duper computer that runs the human system, getting energy from the spirit component. Another word for the spirit, I keep saying, is the soul. And then the next level is the corporal or body component. The body component is the animal side of a human being. It is not the human being, but it is what is fitted with the five senses that make it possible for you to see me, hear me, smell me, and even taste me if you want to. That gross material aspect of the human being is the body, corporal. And it has been said that this body is actually the print out of the subconscious aspect of the mind. I just talked about the subconscious aspect of the mind, but I don't want to go into the component of the mind because every aspect of the human being is capable of being broken down into much more smaller components. Then finally, the fourth component, which is the social or environmental components. Now, these are the four components, four aspects that make up the human system. But that is not the human being. The human being is the soul or spirit. Now, having known all of this, is it possible that the human mind, the human body, and the human environment can work at cross purposes? The answer is yes. When the human being has lost control of all its components, of its decision-making processes, the mind takes over. Interestingly, again, what part of the mind takes over really? Most of the times, it is the subconscious mind, which is the dumb, beastly aspect of the human being. The subconscious mind is the deadly aspect of the human system that should not be allowed to go close to the corridor of power. Because if it goes into it, it will mess it up. Every criminality, every act of irresponsibility that the human beings perpetrates or perpetuates are coming from the subconscious mind's operations. Why is the subconscious mind so deadly? Well, the subconscious mind has no control of itself. The subconscious mind is built by exposure to events, actions in the human environment. It is a dumb beast made up of voices, videos, tastes, etc. All components of the human senses, taste, sight, hearing, smell, touch, all of them picking all kinds of things, signals from the human environment are stored unedited, unrefined in the subconscious pool. The subconscious mind is a pool of experiences that are gathered by the senses: sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. Feelings, all of them, they are stored right there in the subconscious pool. All the actions that have happened before you came into existence, all the sounds that have been made, everything that has happened in the human history are stored up in the subconscious pool. And it is a lake of data, and it is ever churning, ever busy, ever restless. When the human being needs to make a decision, and that human being is run by the subconscious mind, that is to say, the person is on autopilot, the subconscious mind picks anything that is close to the central belief that runs the person and picks information that corresponds with that belief to respond to the question. Though the design of the human being is consciousness, because the human being is consciousness, the human soul is consciousness. But when the soul is not running the show, then consciousness is actually sold out to lower entities like the mind, the environment. That's why sometimes people are speaking like machines. However much you try to speak reasons to them, they can't listen, they can't hear you, because it is not the human being that you are talking to. What the human system has done is that, when I mean human system, I'm referring to the society, the matrix. Now, what the matrix has done to the human being is taking power from them by programming them. Check out things around you, your television, your radio, they are running on programs. Your religious organizations, they are running on programs. You see them talk about programs. We have a program in church. You have a program to watch on TV. There's a program you want to listen to on radio. What does that mean? These are events, teachings that are meant to condition you for control, because they have separated you, they've cut you off from your soul, from your source. Now you are functioning as an automaton, a machine. They have to keep giving you data. That is revalidating data to keep you in line so you don't deviate. Now, this is the state of the human being. The real human being does not run the show most of the time. Now, the purpose of this channel and the reason some of us speak loud and incur your wrath is that you might get yourself back and come back to who you really are. What makes the human being subject to the control of the matrix? And what is the matrix? Interestingly, the matrix is not out there. It's not some collection of individuals in high places. I'm sure you've heard it said that the world is run by a network of selfish and manipulative billionaires. Some group of people somewhere running the show. Some have said that it is run by a group of people up there in the Himalayas. They call them the White Brotherhood. All kinds of theories have been adduced for the rulership or leadership or control of the human system. But I tell you this, all of these people, the network of billionaires, the powerful people somewhere in the Himalayas, the White Brotherhood, whatever you want to call these people, the powerful cults, they are all victims of the matrix. The matrix is a humongous system that pervades all, that pretends to be God, but it is not God, that all, mark my word, all the religions on the planet are worshipping as God. That matrix, pervasive as it is also within you as an entity. For you to be able to take control of your life, you don't need to fight the external matrix or the external manifestations of the matrix. What you need to come to terms with is that you have to edit the commands of the matrix within you. That's the first thing you need to understand. Once you command the internal, private matrix of your life, you control the entire matrix out there. I'm sure you've heard it said that it is best to change yourself because you cannot change others. But the process of self-transformation is very difficult. But I'm going to give you 3 things you need to know in order for you to be able to control your matrix. Yes, the world has gone materialistic. People are no longer what they used to be. People are now seeing value on the basis of money, on the basis of material toys, things that perish. Well, it is not their fault. It is the puerile manifestation of the matrix. They have just failed to control their matrices. That is what we are saying. So what are these 3 things? We are talking about separation, scarcity, and fear. These are the 3 foundations of the matrix. If you are able to overcome these 3 diseases, then you have cut the matrix out of your being. It becomes your servant. Yes, the matrix can serve you. I keep making reference to the Bible. The Bible said that when a man's or a human being's way please God, God will make even their enemy to serve them, to please them. The beginning is separation. That is the beginning of the matrix. It is a lie that the matrix feeds into your system, that you are separate from all, that you are separate from the source, that you and the person you are seeing out there are completely different entities, that you and the plants, that you and the animals, that you and the wind, the breeze, the sun, the water you drink, and of course all the animals out there are separate, that you are separate from the sky, that you are separate from the earth you walk on. Now, when you buy into that, you become isolated from the power of your being. Then decimation begins to happen. Every being that has existed before the earth came into existence, since the earth came into existence, all of them and you are one. The ideology that there is you and there are they, that there is you and then there is God, is total misconception. It is a lie created to manipulate you. Have you heard of the concept of divide and rule? That concept that tells people that they are different from their neighbors and therefore they should seek their own advancement even at the expense of their neighbor. Divide and rule, which is the principle upon which the colonial structure ruled Africa and all their colonies for their own benefits. That is the system of the matrix. Once you accept the concept of I, they, me, them, us, then you have created an opportunity for the matrix to begin the process of running you. Now, when you are separate from all things, from the source, therefore you are alone. And when you are alone, you are likely to see others as against you, having a program that is contrary to yours. When that becomes the story, what do you think is going to happen? There is going to be distrust. There's going to be the need to stop them. And then when there is the need to stop them, when there is the need to be wary around people, there's the possibility that you might not succeed all the time. And when you do not succeed in controlling others, they are likely to hurt you. The feeling that people are about to hurt you bring the feeling of acute isolation, the feeling of victimhood. And that feeling of victimhood is called fear. That brings anxiety. You keep watching your back. So that is where fear comes in. Separation creates the sense of fear. I'm yet to see a human being who looks into the mirror and is scared of the image and is thinking that the mirror image is going to hurt them. I've not seen such. Because the person who looks into the mirror sees themselves. In the same way, if you are not run by the concept of separation, when you look at people, they are your reflections. The environments, the atmosphere, the spaces around you, they are mirrors. Everything that comes into the space are reflecting you back to you. That is how the person who has conquered the matrix thinks. The next level is that when there are they and there is you, then there is the possibility that the things that you are not connected to is different from you. And if it is different from you, then that means that that thing is not part of you. And when it is not a part of you, there is a space between you and that thing. And when space exists, there is a distance to travel. Then the concept of speed comes into play. So when you have that, it therefore means that time has come into the picture, and time controls your perception of everything, life, and you. And when time begins to run that, you realize that everything you want to get is not a part of you, it's outside of you. Therefore, it needs time to get to you. And when that thing needs time to get to you, then it means that that thing is not with you. And when that thing is not with you, you have the illusion of scarcity. You have that feeling that this thing is not mine, it's not with me. It still comes from the concept, original concept, separation. Now, it is the basis upon which you think that you don't have whatever you think you don't have. That is the basis upon which you think you don't have whatever it is you need to have. You don't have money. You don't have your dream life. You see, the matrix, by creating separation, creates fear and creates lack. All of these things, separation, fear, and lack, are illusionary. They don't exist. But once it becomes something that you've accepted, you have bought into, it becomes true to you. Because at this point in time, you are running on the principle, on the energy of the mind. Mind makes real what belief creates. Once your belief can create anything, your mind will realize it. And it takes time for mind to create a realization, because the mind is the child and agent of the matrix. Now, if you are able to overcome the illusion of separation, the illusion of fear, and the illusion of scarcity, you will no longer be a student of the mind. You will no longer be under the control of the mind. You will now be under the control of the vital energy, which is the Christ energy, which is the God energy. And I will talk about God in another video. So, truthfully speaking, I say to you, you are not separate from the source. You are not separate from anything you desire. They are all part and parcel of you. So, to conquer that illusion of separation, assume, yes, just assume that you are one with all. And the more you hold on to that assumption, mind will pick it as your truth. Once you create that belief that you are one with all, that you are not separate from the source, from your brother, from your sister, from your neighbors, from the black person, from the brown person, from the white person, that you all are one, you're not separate from the woman or the man, what then becomes of your life? Unity. And when you have unity, you have peace, because there is no more conflict. This war of the roses, war between men and women, this affirmative, whatever it is, this race thing, this ethnic war, this social class war, they will just end for you. They will cease for you. Now, this is it. Like my friend will always say, the fact that you will not eat the lion doesn't mean that the lion will not eat you. The fact that you no longer participate in that war doesn't mean that those who are in the game will not see you on the basis of your material composition. They will see you as black and treat you as black. They will see you as brown and treat you as brown. They will see you as male and treat you as male. See you as female and treat you as that. But what will be your response to all of these things? Empathy. You empathize with them because you know that they are suffering. Like the Lord Kabir saying, there is really nobody on this planet within the matrix that is happy. And again, within that same system, he also says, none is guilty. None is guilty. He said, we are just like a human being, tied to a raft and then pushed into the high sea with the instruction make sure you don't get wet. How is it possible for such a being, for such an entity so exposed to avoid getting wet? It is impossible. For that is the law. You were brought into this world and told, avoid sin at all costs. Just do right and you'll be okay. Meanwhile, the entire legal system of the earth is built to make you sin. You are surrounded by sinful potentialities, and you were given a mind that lusts after material things, which is the basis of sin. Therefore, why will you not sin? No wonder the guy in the Bible, David, said, in sin was I born, in iniquity did my mother conceive me. Because he saw very clearly, and it takes a human being who has tried to avoid sin to catch this clean picture. So, all of this falling under the slaughter space, the slaughter grip, the slaughter influence of the matrix comes from buying into the lie. Just one lie, and that is separateness. When you realize that you are not separate from the lawgiver, and you are not separate from the judge, and that you are not separate from the jailer and other prisoners, then you have destroyed the matrix in your life. But you haven't destroyed it in others, you only destroyed it in your life. That's just it. Focus on yourself, groom yourself, start building today. It is early enough. Even if you have 5 more days to live in your life, as long as this catches you with so much fervor and fire, hold on to it and start telling yourself today, I am one with all. It is the same reason you cannot curse and be cursed, because the person you are going to curse is you. So you don't curse yourself. If you do not curse yourself, whoever is throwing curses at you will not be able to reach you. So live a life that is in line with your innermost desires and dreams. It is possible. It starts now. Let's do it together. Join me. Let's create a far better world than we have now. God be with you. Thank you.